ready for part 2, hopefully, where we try to finish this okay. So this is where we left off last time. Aha. Right, the plan is for the rest of the room to be relatively dark, lit really only by the light from outside, so it's basically dark, except for within this lamplight, which this little teddy bear, maybe it's a teddy bear, I don't know, within which this teddy bear is reading, burning the midnight oils. This little guy here, this little doggy, a wee puppy, a wee doggy, is turned off, so we don't need any light from this. So we're gonna continue by going downwards today. Downwards. It's still a little bit intimidating. It's still a bit intimidating looking at this. It's far more intimidating than you would think. Now, we are basically coloring everything mostly by just roughly at this point, and then once we've colored everything in, we're going to come in and do some details for the, so make sure everything is shaded. And so let's start, shall we? Okay. Deciding what color to color everything takes the longest time, you know. These little steps here, let's color them. What color we had last time? Was this darker? For wood, is that the right way? Yes, it's the right way. Basically for wood. So I'm gonna color these little bits here also in the same color. So yes, and hopefully we can make less mistakes this time. I was a little bit nervous with the first one, which you can say is the most stupidest thing you've ever heard, because, well, it probably is the most stupidest thing you'll ever heard. You know, being a bit nervous to colour a picture, which is basically something children do without thinking about it. But it's a little bit different when you're displaying it for people to see. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. I mean, the internet is basically full of jokes. You know, if a little kid messes up a picture or presents its parents or teacher with a picture, the parents and the teacher will say that's the most beautiful picture they've ever seen in their life. When you're an adult, that's not exactly something that's going to happen. Not exactly, anyway. It is kind of daunting to start something like this because, you know, I can't say that I do things like this often. Okay, and then we have our basics. Right. We have our black, some shade in there, just give it a little bit. Just I want to color it all over, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then we got these. And then we've got these little bits. It's basically just a little ladder for this little, I don't know, I'm going to call him a Tweety bird. Tweety bird, this little Tweety pie. And then we got this white pencil, which is for blending. So we can blend. This is pretty rough right now, but hopefully by the end it'll all come together and it will look okay. Hopefully, I mean, you never know, right? We're gonna do this a dark enough. Oh, it's not dark enough. Darker. Yeah, this, and this should be darker than this. Should be slightly darker. Just have that there like that. So I get that, and then that. Like that. Okay. Okay. Like that. There we go. Here we are, still. There we go. There we are. And let's have a look. Let's just is. Right. What colors? You know, we haven't done a purple yet. We haven't done a purple yet. That is purple and what? Purple and purple, and this metallic pink for his blanket and his little Victorian-like cap. Let me see. And then it's not going to be a Tweety bird. So we're going to want a yellow, but a little bit darker than usual. So maybe light orange, yellow, and then a darker color for the beak. That's my reasoning anyway. That's my reasoning. Yep. Let's pop them there, okay? We haven't used purple in this yet. Let's give it a go, shall we? Let's give it a go. Let's do that. Okay, like this. Just okay. And let's do this little fella, shall we? Tweety pie. Well, probably for copyright purposes, not Tweety pie, but let's do his little beak or his little nose, basically. Okay, there we go. There we are. Okay. And let's go onto the blanket. Let's give this just this to make this look a little darker, we can go over it in black a little bit. Maybe kind of some dark bits there. There's a little dots there. That doesn't look terrible. I know, I don't think it looks awful. Maybe. Where's that black gone? There it is. There we go. Just gonna not very, just a little bit. Okay, who's our one little friend done? One done. Let's come down here, shall we? So these little shoes or little socks, little shoes and little socks. But what colour? I think dark green. Almost the same colour as we did those leaves. And at the end we could put a little pattern on them. As I said in the first part of this, I tried pens, but they just didn't look right. I didn't like it. Maybe I just bought the wrong pens. And I was a bit worried because, you know, I borrow this stuff with the purpose of making content out of it, and then I saw one video where someone did a book like this, just like this, and she colored it with pencils. And there was all these people in the comment section saying how they also do it with pencils, but also they fill in details at the end with pens. So one of the problem with the pencils is it's kind of difficult to put in those little details. So I gave it a little test run. Let's see. Let's see what this is like. And it looked okay, to be honest. Didn't look terrible. Hopefully by the end of this series I will be a pro. What color should the pages of these books be? Let me think. I feel like this is a bit too dark. So you need some kind of off color. But what kind of off color? What about metallic gold? Maybe. Let's give it a try, shall we? Okay, that would be a little bit too bright. But that's okay. You can always add some contrast. Even just taking in some of this ink from around the page makes it look a little bit darker there. Black. Got a whole lot of notifications on my phone tonight. There will be a lot of editing going on right now. Let's get that. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking at this point it may look terrible. It may look absolutely okay. Yep. Okay. Alright. So here's some dark wood here. I'm wondering where to put it because we've already done this ladder here in this darker color. So maybe I should go for just a shade lighter. And that's too light. That's definitely too light. I think coffee LoFi will be a really good color to color in this here and these. This here. It started raining again. Last night it dropped to well below 0 degrees. And it was cold. It was pretty darn cold. I'm used to it. It's typical Welsh autumn/winter. Although it probably it's just normal. Those Celtic winds, they do blow. Celtic winds as fiery as the Celtic temper. Came across a video this morning on TikTok about Victoria Beckham. The comments are full of people going, she's Welsh, she's Welsh, she's Welsh. And I had never heard that Victoria Beckham was Welsh. I thought she was English. You know, posh English from Hertfordshire. Not posh Welsh from Pembroke. Now, oops. And so we need to do this. Think this. And then we'll cover these drawers in a different colour. There's almost time to reach into storage and pull out those dusty Christmas decorations. Those Christmas decorations that you either reluctantly took down or gladly ripped from their pedestals and perches. They've been sat for like a month. You gotta move them every 5 seconds because you know you gotta hoover and dust, and they just stand there in the way. Just annoying, really. Okay. Now what colour should we do these drawers? Maybe blue. Maybe blue, blue. Where's that blue gone? There it is. Should be okay. There we go. And I always find Christmas on social media is just the same repetition of the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. The same recycled observations. Same stories. Just always the same. The same post recycled from Reddit, Twitter. Banded around because it's like a tradition now. A real tradition. I definitely think some traditions are meant to be broken. And there is nothing more humiliating, well, I think, than that annual rate my Christmas dinner. And that's when you can really tell, you know, who can cook and who can't. I've seen some real stinkers, you know. Oops. Oh dear. I hate when that happens. One careless moment. Ruined. Okay. Now, I'm thinking for under here is to do some of this, but with some black over it, because it's gonna be under there. It's gonna be under there. There's black on. There it is. So it's gonna be mostly in the shadows underneath. Oh, shh. Oh, nothing's working out tonight. Nothing at all is working out. Okay. Now, what we got going on here? This glass. We need to sort out this glass situation. So, I need that dark gray. Dark gray. Dark gray. Dark gray. Where is it? Because I can't find a darker gray. Gray and lead gray. Let's have a look. It's not that. water. If we want it to be water, of course. We could be naughty and make it something a little bit more unhealthy. What would a bird, a teddy bear, and a dog take to bed in terms of beverages, in terms of hydration? What? It would be water, wouldn't it? It would be water. I don't know, should I do a dark blue? Light blue. Probably a lighter blue. But I think that we should do 2 color blues. Maybe this will work or maybe it won't. Luckily it's kind of easier to turn a light color darker than it is to turn a dark color light, so let's get that. It's a bit of depth in there. Right. Okay. Let's do this again. And this should be, yes, coffee. So we're going to do this chair leg or stool leg in this coffee color, the same color as we did the wood for the desk. There we go. And like I said, we'll be doing more detail at the end. So right now we're just getting the base colors sorted, and then I'm going to come back and do. Alright, I think what we're going to have is a dark blue like this, graphic sapphire blue, and I think it's going to be around this, like that. Just a little bit darker blue there. And then we can have a little bit of a lighter blue in there, or maybe even darker blue. Maybe like a purple. I don't know. What about a purple? Grape. What does that look like? Can kind of contrast the blue and it's the same one. I'm not as organized as other creators that make this content. I'm definitely not organized. At all. Definitely not. So don't expect too much. No. Get that. A little bit of That's right under the desk. There's nothing there really. It's just there's no light right now. Okay. A tennis ball. Tennis ball. We need a dark green. Dark green. This is moss green. And then we need a sort of this color, light orange yellow for these little. Because I need to get rid of that blue in there. Every good boy deserves a ball. Go. Okay, the floor. The floor. So I think I can use this. What is it? This light reddish brown. This light reddish brown, I think. It's different enough from the wood, but also dark enough. That's the funniest thing about Christmas, though. When I was a kid, getting to put the decorations up was a treat. It was definitely a thrill. It was something to be excited over. But now, as an adult, when all the decorating is up to me, yes, I definitely would skip it. I definitely would skip it. You know, the dreaded knowledge that at any second, any given second, that tree, after hours of painstaking arranging, trying to get the branches looking like it's not bold, trying to look like some semblance of an actual tree and not something that's just been dragged through the forest backwards by Clark Griswold and his family. I know that that tree is gonna come down with a crash. And I know exactly who the culprit is gonna be. As she's sitting under where the Christmas tree used to sit, probably covered in tinsel and knocking about a bauble or two, acting innocent. Her pink nose probably glowing like Rudolph. Yes, my cat. Cats mats and Christmas trees. They tend not to go well together. And some people pretend that it's adorable. I suppose when it's a video that's going viral on the internet, it is very adorable. But when it is happening to your Christmas tree, that you stressfully put up, not to mention spend time shopping for that Christmas tree, because it has to be the perfect Christmas tree. It has to be for some reason. It has to be the right height, the right weight. Oh, goodness me. Right, what color do we do this mat? Everything currently seems to be wood and blue. I'm not sure I like that. I don't know if that looks good or not, but you know, we'll do this mat and then we'll call it a day until the next one, where we move over here and we start doing the light. What color do we do the mat? Maybe we should break with the blues and go with a red or a green. Blue and green go together, right? We've got some greens in here, so maybe we should go with a red. Or would that be too much? I see what, let's do a red footprint in there. Let's do a red footprint. Let's do a red footprint. And then on Christmas Eve, and I put the presents under the Christmas tree, traditionally, you know, waiting for my nieces and nephews to arrive to open them the next morning or the day after, just depending what they've got going on, really. My cat decides that it's time to sleep on the presents. So there I am, spending hours wrapping the Christmas presents. Stressed because I've lost the sellotape for the 15th millionth time. Of course, it's in the most simplest place, you know, the one place that I forgot to look, right under the Christmas present. And maybe we can do this blue. Maybe let's not remove all the blue. Red and blue. I've used far too much blue in this to be a Liverpool supporter, I really have. People will start thinking I support Chelsea or something. Or worse, Everton. Oh dear. Okay. There we go. That's good. That's good. Well, that's as good as it's gonna get. Not everything has to look perfect. I have to remind myself of that. for now, this is definitely where we're gonna end it. And I'm gonna very quickly, because my camera is about to run out of charge. Until next time. See ya.